Pokemon Facts. Pokemon are integral parts of our lives. For long, humans and Pokemon have shared a rather tenuous relationship, fighting for dominance over the land we inhabit. But it eventually blossomed into a beautiful symbiotic bond, one where we take, and the Pokemon give. One species in particular have been responsible for providing us with the necessary resources to keep us warm and clothed. These Pokemon are called Mareeps, and they're covered in bountiful wool. There's just so much of it that they need to be sheared irregularly to remain comfortable. Otherwise, they just get buried in their own hair and suffocate, but thankfully us humans have found few uses for them. If it weren't for our quick thinking and penchant for economic growth, the Mareeps would have still had a median life expectancy of 3 years. So people made clothes, blankets, curtains, and carpets out of them. But the more the humans profited from the Mareeps, the more they grew to resent us, for they never received a single cent for what they considered an essential contribution to society. They're way out of line, of course, but I can sympathize with their feelings. They saw us flourish off of their filthy byproducts, turned them into something useful with an almost alchemic-like transformation. I imagine we'd feel the same if the Mareeps built an industry around selling shoes made from our pubes. But they didn't, and still don't, because Pokemon don't possess any business acumen. They've never stepped foot in a business seminar, nor have they ever put together a simple mission statement. And honestly, it's a bit insulting that they think they're entitled to a share of the profit, when they've been provided with free haircuts for centuries. If they were asked to reimburse us for all the free grooming they received, would they be able to pay back any of it? No. The audacity is enough to make me grind my teeth into tiny little nubs. And yet, they stood their ground and refused to let us shear their wool. In fact, they grew so spiteful that they evolved into a form with even less wool. But that wasn't enough to discourage us. We simply took what we could get, sharing them in secret while they slept. Progress cannot be hindered by a bunch of disgruntled resources. The market demand must be satiated, at all cost. When the flaaffies caught wind of our scheme, they learned to evolve into a completely woolless form. As ampharos, they were as naked as the morning sun, but more importantly, completely useless to the economy. And when you've proven yourself worthless in our mission to expand consumerism, you're garbage, and garbage gets thrown out. At first, the Pokemon were happy to be free from the shackles of capitalism. They thought themselves better off on their own, until they realized that without the humans, they weren't treated to 3 square meals a day. No more roof over their heads, no more doctor visits, clean water, protection from predators, and more importantly, nobody around to shear their young. Flaaffies and ampharos couldn't do it. They just got little nubs for hands, hardly useful for anything, much less holding shearing tools. So they begged the humans to take them back, but we moved on. Progress stopped for no one, especially those who stood in its way. There was no longer any room left in the world for them. I'm an old rotary phone, and this has been another episode of Pokemon Facts. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more factual Pokemon facts. Have a wonderful Pokemon day.